of the National Council of Provinces, Mr. Les Govender. Mr. Les, thank you very much for your time and welcome to Radio Islam International.
Very good morning to you and your listeners out there, and thank you to Radio Islam for having me on your program this morning.
Pleasure indeed. Now, the NCOP is often seen as the bridge between national and provincial governments. How effectively is this particular function being fulfilled, especially under the new government of national unity?
Under the NGU, under the GNU, what we have done is we have streamlined the work of the NCOP to the extent that we have actually increased the oversight capability, because we found that in the past there was not a proper alignment between the three spheres of government. What we found was that each sphere was sort of doing their own thing, and as a result, that affected the rollout of services to the various communities across the country. So what we have done is we already had a three-sphere planning, where we brought all three spheres of government, including ministers, mayors, and even people that are responsible for implementation. We brought them together in one session and we outlined their plans. So now it is for us to oversee that those plans are indeed rolled out to the benefit of our people.
Now, service delivery remains a major issue in many provinces. How is the NCOP ensuring that national policies translate into real improvements at the provincial and municipal levels?
You see, this is where accountability comes in. Now, we get ministers coming and making executive statements. The Deputy President comes and makes an executive statement. Now, holding them to account, that's where the NCOP comes in. Because we've got representatives from each of the 9 provinces, equal representation. So we then go back to the provinces and we do oversight in terms of what was promised in the executive statement. Is it really being rolled out? Very often we find that we'll hear that a particular project is on paper and the budget is there. But a year down the line or 2 years down the line, you go on the ground, you find that nothing much has happened, but the money has been spent. So now we are saying on an ongoing basis, whenever we have our provincial weeks, each of the delegates go back to the provinces, look at those projects on the ground to see, has that school been built, or how far have they gone? Are they keeping track in terms of their plans? And the budgets that have been allocated, are they being spent in terms of those plans? So that kind of oversight will actually help to ensure that projects do benefit our people.
Now, many provinces are also struggling with financial mismanagement and budget shortfalls. What role does the NCO play in ensuring provincial governments use funds efficiently?
Well, you see, we have programs in place that will ensure that budgets are spent effectively. But very often, it is out of our hands when it comes to the actual expenditure on the ground. Now, you will know that when it comes to budget spending, the amount of money that is being stolen along the way. And that is where the Auditor General comes in. But unfortunately, the Auditor General only comes in after the fact. The money has been spent, the damage has been done, and all the Auditor General can do is to highlight those things so that we can then follow up to see where it has gone wrong.
Now, rural provinces face severe challenges with infrastructure, including poor roads, lack of clean water, and failing healthcare facilities. What is the NCOP doing to push for urgent solutions?
You see, when it comes to rural areas, unfortunately, the terrain in many of our provinces, like if you were to take KwaZulu-Natal, where I come from, the terrain in KwaZulu-Natal is so rugged in many places that it's virtually impossible to get clean water supply to those areas and things like electricity and so on. But what we are trying to do is to take services closer to the people, and this is where the project plans come in. This is where the three-sphere planning comes in, because provincial government and the local municipalities need to work together to ensure that services do reach people in the deep rural areas especially.
You know, on a provincial level, there's the threat that we face from the mafia constructions. How are we addressing this issue? Many people still continue to feel vulnerable and susceptible and also very exposed when it comes to this matter. Are we doing anything to do to nip that issue?
I know that there are a number of business enterprises that have been affected by the so-called business mafia. Now, I am glad that since the inception of the JNU, we find that the Department of Public Works have come out very strongly, both nationally as well as in KZN that I'm aware of, where the MEC there as well as the minister nationally has said that they will not tolerate this, and we can see that they've already put plans in place to identify the leaders in the so-called business mafia, and also negotiating with the business forums, which are recognized as official structures, negotiating with them so that the business forums do play their role in ensuring that projects do not get disrupted as a result of the business mafia.
Finally, Mr. Les Govender, how's Inkatha Freedom Party doing? How has the progress been? Are the constituency happy? Are they holding you accountable for certain promises that you made?
Yeah, the founder of our party, the late Prince Mangosuthu Buthelezi, always said to us, don't promise what you cannot deliver. And the leadership of our party at all levels live by that doctrine. And so they will not promise something that they cannot deliver. And the President Slabisa, he is also leading by example. And as a minister, he is also saying to us on the ground, do not promise what you cannot deliver. And yes, the plans that we rolled out in our manifesto in 2024 are finding resonance on the ground, and I can say that the people are happy with how we are performing, especially in KwaZulu-Natal, with our Premier Tamim Tuli, who is working very hard together with these MECs, and people can see the change.
Mr. Les Govender, thank you very much for your time, and all the best for the rest of the day.
Thank you very much once again to Radio Islam and yourself and your team for being here. And I know the weather is not in your favor, but we hope that the wind will subside and you'll have a good day with us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.